Okay, I guess I'll take a break and no more pretend B shots. Like, no more pretend somebody's shooting videos of me walking through the snow, because that takes effort, time and energy, things that I don't have enough of this afternoon. That takes a lot of work, you know, B shots like that, especially walking through deep snow. You put it up, you take the video, you go back and take the camera. Okay, those are my gear. Okay, take a short break, then hike further, then see where we can set up. Okay, I was expecting there would be people here because of the mild weather, but I think they're a bit afraid of the rain, because the forecast calls for showers plus snow, and that means wet snow. For me, one of the worst kinds of snow. It's just snow is okay, because it just slides off your jacket, just slides off your body. But wet snow is like cold rain, can get you wet and cold. But the forecast calls for a high of 2 degrees and a low of -4 degrees centigrade overnight. So in Canadian terms, that's very, very mild. Okay, so enough to chat. Let's keep going while there's light.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay guys, I think I found the spot that we'd be camping for the night. I saw some animal footprints. The last time I was here, I saw some rabbit footprints, some squirrels footprints, and then I saw some footprints while walking towards here that look like they belong to a canine, which could either be a dog or, I hope not, coyotes, because there was no news of coyotes in this area. Somewhere else, yes, but not around here. So I'm hoping they are not coyotes. Anyway, though it looks like I'm in the middle of the woods somewhere. Well, actually I'm in the middle of the woods, but I'm not very far from home. It's just a good 30-minute walk to our house. So just in case something untoward happens, I could just go home, though I would still have to walk a long way to get to the road. There's a road closer, but I have to cross the creek, so that's not an option. Okay, so I hope the mild weather discourages some coyotes, if there are some, to come over here, because I think they're crossing the creek. But the weather is mild right now, so the creek may not be that passable today or tonight. Okay, so let's rest for a bit, then set up, because it's gonna be dark soon, and the forecast also calls for some rain. So I think I want to be inside a tent. Okay, so let's go. Okay guys, after struggles, after a couple of struggles, I was able to set up my tent. Actually, it's my first time to open and set up this kind of tent. It's a pyramid tent with no poles. We just use a walking stick to prop up the tent. So it's my first time, and I didn't realize how many pegs I needed for it. And you can't just use regular pegs on a snowy ground, because the ground would be somewhat frozen, so you need a special kind of peg. And I only had 8 of those, and the regular pegs that came with the tent couldn't do the job, so I struggled for a bit. I have to admit, it's not pegged properly, but it will do because I'm just gonna stay here for the night. Yeah, so this is gonna be my first time winter camping, and it's also a stealth one, so I can't tell you where I am. And you could probably hear some cars and the sound of the train, because I'm not anywhere far from civilization. I'm very close by, because this is my first time. I wanted to be as close to civilization as possible, but it will still be a good 30-minute walk towards civilization from here, but it's probably good enough for me, unless I take a shortcut and walk through the somewhat frozen creek, but I won't risk it because I'm not sure how thick the ice on the creek is. But anyway, so I've set up the tent as best as I could, given that it's also pouring wet snow right now. So wet snow means it's a mix of rain and snow. I was originally planning on cooking my dinner, but I'm so effing tired, so I don't know if I would still cook my dinner, because that means I would have to start a fire, which I think I'd rather not. I did bring some snacks just in case I couldn't make a meal, so I probably just have that for tonight and get some sleep, and maybe try to cook something tomorrow, or just head home and have my breakfast there. But anyway, I just want to scratch off winter camping off my bucket list, and because of the pandemic, plans didn't fall through with some camping friends, so here I am. Stealth winter camping. I don't know how this can work, but I hope no coyotes come tonight. But let's do it. Okay, so yeah, to be honest, I've been planning this camping for a number of weeks now, but I was hesitating, but now we're at the tail end of the winter, and I was worried that winter might be over and I won't still be able to do this, so I came today to do this. Though the weather is not that favorable, because the temperature is hovering between a high of 2 degrees centigrade and a low of -4, so it's gonna be wet. Not the kind of wintry, snowy camping that I was envisioning in my head when I was planning this. But there would be other winters, so at least now I would learn from this experience and I could probably do better next time. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna cook some dinner now because I was also worried that animals might smell the food and come over. So I'll just probably just go in and hunker down. Speaking of hunker down, shout out to my favorite camping YouTuber Steve Wallace. He inspired me to do this, so thank you for inspiring me. Okay, so let's go in and just sleep and get this thing over with. Anyway, before we go in, you might be wondering how I would keep warm through the night, because it's sure gonna be cold. But because I know it's gonna be just -4 and probably pushing that -7, it wouldn't be as cold as I originally planned. It won't be as cold as the previous days, so I think I can manage. I will manage. I've slept in -7 temperature before, but it wasn't during winter. I think that was during the fall. Because fall is also gets cold, so I've done -7 in a hammock and I survived through that. So I think I can do this with -4, the lowest. And I have some sleeping bags, I have some emergency blankets just in case it gets really cold. And if it gets really cold, I have a heater, a propane heater, just in case it gets really cold. But that's for extreme situations. If I can avoid using it, I won't use it. Okay, so time check. It's already 5:23, so sunset is around 5:30, so it's gonna be really dark soon. So I better get inside and hunker down and eat some snacks that I have. Let's go. Okay, we're inside the tent. First impression, it's very tight. It's kind of small. It's a very small space. I thought this was gonna be 8 feet long. It probably is, but at the ends, it's the roof slopes down. Or is it because I just didn't do a good job anchoring the tent? That's why it's like this. And I can feel my feet cold now. Oh my god. I'm glad I brought warmers. I think I'm gonna struggle a bit fitting into my sleeping bag. So I don't know, I'd probably use the emergency BB, so I could just be warm for tonight. Yeah, the rest of my body I'm not worried about, but it's my feet that I'm worried about because they get cold really fast like everybody else. Jesus. And it's a bit tight in here, and I can feel the coldness of the ground despite the many layers. So there's a tarp, and then the foot of the tent, and there's the mattress, the air mattress, and I have a sleeping bag, and I have my jacket. I can still feel the cold. It's like sleeping on top of ice. So when I was planning this, I was actually thinking of just making this a learning experience. because you can only learn so much from watching all those YouTube videos, and it's better if you experience it yourself, so the next time you do it you can do better. So I'm just checking this off as a learning experience because I plan to do more winter camping in the future. Okay, I guess I'm gonna eat some snacks. I'll see you later. Okay, update guys. Kita niyo yung usok ng hininga ko. Ayan, dahil maginaw. Hindi na rin ako kumain dahil hindi ko alam kung paano in this cramped space, no? So I guess matutulog na lang ako. Pero ang ginaw, mahangin na sa labas kanina. Hindi na narinig ngayon dahil kumalma na, pero kanina mahangin ng malakas. At umuulan pa rin. Ewan ko kung ulan yan o snow. Yung two warmers ko hindi dumidikit sa medyas ko, kaya giniginaw pa rin yung mga daliri ko sa paa. At bumigay na rin ako at inon ko na yung heater dahil yun, maginaw na kasi. Okay, it's still cold. I've done everything I could. I already doubled my emergency blanket, and I have my heater on. And I guess my last resort when I'm camping in the cold is just sleep it off. Okay, so I'm gonna sleep now, and hopefully when I wake up it's the morning. I really don't want to wake up in the middle of the night worrying about something like where's my water or something. And if you've been wondering if I already peed, yes, I did pee. I used the other side of the tent, so that proved useful. Yeah, I tried looking outside for my bottle of water, but I didn't see it, so I don't know where it is. I'll just look for it tomorrow. Okay, so I guess that's good night, and see you tomorrow. Good morning, world. Time check, 6:30 in the morning. And it's, I don't know, I think it's raining. You could hear it, right? Okay, so I was planning to do a time lapse, but it's very cloudy out there. I think it's raining. It's either raining now or snowing. I still have to look outside. House to sleep? Well, generally cozy. It started out to be a struggle because I couldn't get the right setup, but I was able to like put the emergency blanket first, double that, and then put myself inside the sleeping bag. That proved to be cozy. There would be times that I'd be sweating inside. It got really hot, so I had to turn off the heater. In fact, I just turned it on right now. I mean, because I didn't want to waste the fuel. Okay. The biggest problem would be the ground is still cold. Like I managed to make my feet toasty, but then my butt cheeks got really cold. That was more manageable than having toasty than having cold toes. Okay, so I just slept through that. Also, when I need to pee, it was a major struggle because that means I had to get out of the sleeping bag, out of the emergency blankets, out of my pants, and then out of this tent. Well, I generally not outside the tent. I had to open the other side of the tent just to pee. And I was really worried that if I put my body out of the tent, that a coyote would show up. So that was the major struggle last night. So two major struggles would be, yeah, the cold ground and if I need to pee. Well, the hunger pangs. The hunger pangs. I ate one chocolate bar because I got really hungry. But other than that, that was it. And I still couldn't find my water bottle. So there's that thirst. And just trying to ignore it. Yeah. And now, this morning it's colder than last night because I know it's gonna go around -8 something, and it's gonna get even colder early later. That's why I turn on the heater. So I think I'd stay up here for a bit till it gets brighter outside and try to wait out the rain or the snow, because I don't want to be backing up in the rain. That's the worst. Okay, so I have to pee. Okay, so later.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, so now it's a bit brighter. It's around 7:30. So I'll try to show you what's on the outside. I'll open the other side of my tent and let's take a look. I think I'm gonna start slowly but surely packing up a bit because I'm hungry. Okay guys, this is where I slept last night. Yeah, the ice over the creek has melted. And speaking of water, I think I dropped my water bottle somewhere on the way here because I couldn't find it anywhere near the tent. So I guess I might have to retrace my way back, because I was planning on going back to the road using another trail, but I have to find the water bottle. Yeah, if it's not too dangerous to get to the water on the creek, I would have probably gone and get some. But I don't want to fall into the cold water. Okay, I'll take a walk for a bit, try to find a water bottle, and I think I'll start packing up while there's no rain. Okay guys, a couple of things before I uh, pack up this thing. Just a review. Well, the emergency blankets, then pros, they were okay. They probably saved my ass last night. They work, but I had to double it because one blanket was not enough. Maybe that's the reason why they're selling it in pairs because you need to double up. And it wasn't that cold last night compared to other winter days. I mean, the problem was they ripped. I thought it was just the one blanket last night, the first one, but the second one also ripped. So for the price I paid for it, it's not probably worth it. You should probably buy the thicker ones, the Escape BV, because they would probably last longer and you can use it multiple times. But this one, I don't think I'm gonna use it again. Those emergency blankets from Seoul were even better because I've had them for a long time now, for a couple of years, because we continue to use and reuse them during our camping trips. They also saved my ass a couple of times, but they were just blankets. These are, well, blankets slash BV, because they're like two blankets taped together, so you could go inside it like a cocoon. That's just the reason I bought them. As for the tent, it worked pretty well because it's not supposed to be for winter. It's not a four-season tent, but I bought it because it's light. It's very light because there are no poles. You just use one hiking stick, and it held pretty well despite the rain and the winds last night. It's just my fault that I rushed in setting it up. It was not pegged properly because it was getting cold, it was getting dark, and I was tired, so I just wanted the place to sleep last night. But given the proper time and the proper conditions, it could be set up pretty well. But then again, for my intentions of stealth camping, I'm not so sure because there's just so many pegs you have to set up. Like what it lacks in poles, it surely makes up with the number of pegs you have to do. Okay, so there's the inner tent, 4 pegs, make it 5 because you need to tie it down. And then the rain fly, it probably needs 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 3, 6. I've lost count. 6, maybe 8 to 10 pegs. So that's a lot of pegs, but it's light, and for backpacking it probably works. But if you need to set up a tent really quickly, no. For the body heater, yes, works. It even got really toasty last night that I was sweating inside the sleeping bag. Okay, I'm almost done talking. Yeah, I would just like to make a shout out to Jen S, one of my camping friends, who provided me with some advice on winter camping. Pieces of advice that unfortunately I did not follow because of my rush to get here and my rush to build the tent. I realize now how useful her pieces of advice would have been, like taking extra pairs of, but extra socks would have been a big help last night in putting up my tube. Lesson learned. Second, to not forget to put snow on the edges of the tent just to keep the wind away and any unsavory critters that might grip of the cap at the bottom of the tent. If I did that, that would have helped keep my tent warmer last night. Also a shout out to my commander-in-chief, to my girlfriend who told me to bring the yoga mat. On hindsight, I should have. Okay, my bad for not listening. I'm so sorry. Because the ground was the coldest part of it. I should have brought cooked food in case of emergency. Though I brought snacks like chocolate bars, and I tried to eat them last night. The problem was I got thirsty and I have no water. Other than that, I think it all went well. It got cozy last night. It's okay. It's okay. He's just having fun.
Morning.
Morning. Oh, buddy. It's okay, man. Okay, guys. We've just started walking away from our campsite, and I'm gonna try to trace back our trail from yesterday. I'm gonna walk back, and hopefully we can find my water bottle somewhere. If not, then that's just it, I guess. And it's hella cold. I think it's -8, -9, around that. I wanted to go ultralight, but despite all the efforts, my bag's still heavy. Although it's smaller than the usual camping bag. And I have some garbage. I can't leave the garbage behind. That's just irresponsible. So I'm just gonna bring the garbage out also. So that's extra. Okay. I ate some dried cranberries, and I hope that's enough for me to power through my way back to the road. So that's our rest stop yesterday, and my water bottle is not there because that's the only place I can remember where I put down my bag for a bit. So I still have to walk back this way. It's beautiful out here, but it's hella cold. There would be an easier way to go back, but I have to find that water bottle. And chances are I might not find it. That's gonna be too bad. Well, the sun is up. And we're almost home. I mean, we're almost at the trail. I mean, we're almost at the road. And still haven't found my water bottle. Anyway, interesting information from our dog walker friends while I was talking to them, that the animal trails that I saw yesterday could either be deer or just dogs. No coyotes here, so that was good. So all the coyotes walking around my tent last night was just in my imagination. Okay, so I guess we're almost home, and that's good. So could have a proper meal or a proper cup of coffee. Okay, let's go.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay guys, I'm glad we took the same way that we got to the campsite yesterday, because I think I'm looking at my water bottle here. Can you see it? Because I didn't catch it on video, but yesterday I fell down and almost impaled my butt on that metal protrusion there, if you could see it. Yeah, I fell down here hard, but my camera wasn't on and I didn't use it anymore. I didn't shoot it anymore, so there it is, that black bottle. Let's get closer, though this is a climb though, so let's just be careful. Hella slippery. There it is. See it? Yeah, and there's that metal protrusion there. So dangerous. I almost fell on it yesterday. So it's here. Thank God. And it's not too far from the trail. The bike trail, I mean. Also guys, and water bottle. So I think I'm all good now. All good. Okay guys, we're almost at the trailhead, and these are clear tracks. Okay, I can hear civilization now. That's good. Yep, that was my first time winter camping. Some things that I learned, which hopefully would make the next winter camping better. Okay, the trailhead is just right there. So I guess that's about it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy, I hope you learned something. If you didn't learn something, I still hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. I know this this channel is largely about cycling, but there's also a sprinkling of hiking and camping and cooking and all other stuff. So I did this in English, and hopefully a lot of my future camping videos would also be in English. Okay, so pasensya na sa mga subscribers ko na Filipino, kung medyo nag-English tayo ngayon dahil sinusubukan nating makakuha din ng subscribers na taga-ibang bansa. At syempre, para maintindihan na rin yung nangyayari, dahil syempre wala namang winter sa Pilipinas, so yung mga nag-winter camping malamang nasa mga European at North American countries yun mostly, diba? Okay, so that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll end it here. Thank you very much. Till next time. Bye.